You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit GearHandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour podcast.
Quickie Tuesday edition.
Yes. And there, I'm sure you got some news to add to it because I saw a bunch about Birchmore. But let me go over mine and you can add to anything that you may know. So I saw Sarah Boone is back in the news and she's on her 9th attorney. So she was going pro se. Did you already tell us this?
Well, there's been new developments since last week.
Well, I just saw a new attorney that they interviewed, and he's a big fan of her.
So what she did was she basically kind of took out an ad without taking, she wrote this letter basically saying her situation and that she needed an attorney.
But she didn't want a court appointed.
She did.
She denied
no, because
a court
all the
appointed.
ones they were no longer allowed to appoint her any because they've either all had been fired or quit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, we can't just keep giving you attorney after attorney after attorney. You have to just represent yourself because obviously they are not, whatever the story is that you're telling them, they can't prove it. And you have so much against you. The video,
yes.
The interview confession,
your personality,
your face, that the attorneys are they can't find experts to do the case. So this attorney who who responded to the ad clearly knows all the background and is just, in my opinion, doing it for to get famous
And
or
he
for
said-
notoriety. Yeah.
He said, I watch true crime stuff all the time, and I'm always watching the lawyers on YouTube. So he's been following the case. And I was like, so he's a fan. He wants to be a little famous. He says they've been getting along great, that she's pleased with him so far.
Oh, yeah. There was like this hearing for something, and she's just smiling. And I'm like, you're
But there was a
gross.
plea deal that they offered her, and she denied it. But I never saw what the plea deal,
I
plea
don't know
bargain
if they
was.
did
like-
or
like-
what. I don't.
The lawyer said that they did. 'Cause
Okay.
What's your girl that you watch on News Nation all the time? Megyn Kelly? Is she on there?
No.
Did I make that up?
Mm-hmm.
I think the pretty blonde one. She was
You
like,
probably thinking of Ashley Banfield.
maybe so. Yeah, it was Banfield.
Yeah.
So she was like, so before you get off of here, we heard that she was offered a plea deal and she did not take it. Is that true? And the lawyer was like, it is true. She did not take the plea deal. And this is going to be a hard case to try. But I don't know what the plea deal is. It was probably like, admit and like you won't get life.
Yeah, but she does not want to admit that she did it intentionally, or she just, I don't know, wants to make up her own details of the case. I have no idea.
She's the worst.
She's just very narcissistic.
She wants to go to trial, which is what a total narcissist.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
me let everybody hear what I got to say. Next, let's go to California. And because there was a missing elderly couple that went missing in San Bernardino County, California. Their last name was Menards. They were last seen a week ago on August 24th. So Stephanie, who's 73, and Daniel Menard, 79, lived in the nudist community in this California area. And they were reported missing after they did not show up to church. So I was like, uh-oh, are we getting some pineapples? So a nudist community does not mean they're all like screwing each other. They just want to be able to check their mail naked and not go to jail. So imagine all these old people outside
That's
naked.
disgusting. I'm disgusted.
So it's just a nudist community. Unless there's another definition of nudist community that I do not know of.
I don't know,
I'm
but
assuming they are
Yeah.
naked. So their neighbor, Michael Sparks, who also goes by Sparky, was arrested on August 29th. So the Thursday after they were reported missing. He was found in his underground bunker. So some family reported the Menards missing, and they said, their neighbor, Michael, old Sparky boy, hates them. Hates him. You need to question him. So the police go over there, try to question him. He's not coming out of the house. They find out that he has done a lot of like construction and was doing stuff underneath the ground. And so they get this big army tanker, like they did their house, like they did David Koresh.
Demolished. They like pulled the face
Like it was
off
the
of
compound.
the house.
Yes. And they found him in an underground bunker. And he had a shotgun in which he pulled the trigger and shot
it
himself.
Misfired. I
and
thought
it misfired.
Yes.
That you should have dropped to your knees and repented everything, because the Lord's giving you another chance to repent these sins. Well, he
worst.
was still not cooperative, but they got him in. And also while in that bunker, they found some human remains.
Lovely.
And they are working right now to identify the human remains. It had only been a couple days. So if it was the Menards, it hadn't even been a week. Like, you would be able to tell. They would not be that decomposed. So I don't know that this is the Menards, because I feel like you'd be able to tell.
Oh.
It hadn't even been 7 days.
And they couldn't tell?
They're working to identify the remains. So, and maybe it is. Maybe it's not that they're mummified. I'm picturing like, how come you can't tell us right now? Because you can clearly look at their faces. Are they waiting on dental records?
I don't know.
A family member would be able to identify them. So, What else? Police they ripped the house in shreds. They got him. Now, the family was alarmed because the Minard's personal items were still in the house. Her purse was there. Their cell phones were there. And then their car was found right down the road with the keys inside this car. So it all seemed really sketchy, but it's just like they've just disappeared. Now, the Minards and Sparky, they've been feuding for years because, Sparky doesn't trim his trees. And his tree grows over the fence. And Mr. Minard probably likes his place nice. He doesn't want to live like trash. So he trims the tree because it's growing over and leaking in his yard, leaking leaves in his yard. And Sparky didn't like that.
Sparky needs to get over it. I would be like, thank you.
Sparky sounds like a hoarder. So, also that's been missing since they've been missing is their Shih Tzu named Cuddles.
Yes,
they had a white
Cuddles.
Shih Tzu named Cuddles.
Yes.
Cuddles has not been found.
Oh.
So, Sparky is in a detention center in Rancho Cucamonga and awaiting to be arraigned.
I cannot.
We'll find out if that is the body. Let's go to Pittsburgh and hold on to yourself for this or take a drink.
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts because this one's pretty hard. A grandma has been charged, this is in Pittsburgh, with the murder of her 3-year-old granddaughter over Labor Day weekend. 3-year-old Ayla Miller was found by her uncle who came to visit and another child on September 1st around 11:30 a.m. They called 911, and when the police and the paramedics came, they pronounced Ayla dead. Allah, I think it's Allah, unalived at 11:46 a.m. So she had already been dead for a while. Ayla Allah had been living with her grandmother for about a month and a half. Her mom came and dropped her off about a month and a half ago. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it was a CPS case. I don't know if mama just had a new boyfriend. Well, when EMS got there, she was cold. She was covered in scratches and bruises all over her body. Her face. She had an infected wound on her ankle that was like oozing pus. And she had a neck injury and burn marks on her other ankle consistent with cigarette burn marks. So she was being tortured. She was laying on a mattress in her own blood in her grandma's house. So when police were looking a little bit more, they saw that the bedroom door to the bedroom was broken. It had holes knocked all in the walls, all in the apartment.
Oh my gosh.
There was no electricity, and Grandma admitted to beating Allah with a large wooden stick and just anything she could pick up around the apartment. But she was sorry now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So glad that she's sorry.
Another child who was in the house witnessed this event and told the police that her grandma punched Allah in the face, forcing her to fall backwards. She hit her head really hard. Then, because she was unconscious, she put her in the bathtub and filled up the bathtub and left her in there. When she went back and checked on her, Allah was underwater, but she was not dead. So she dried her up and put her in the bed and did not check on her for days. So when she went back, Allah was no longer breathing.
But she's sorry?
She's sorry, though.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
Like that is and the last person to do it is the grandma, I think. Like, I think we read more about the mom is shitty, and they go live with grandma. Your grandma should be your safe space.
Yeah.
Grandma should have more sense than mama. But the poor grandma did it. Ugh. Okay. And then now this is a developing story, but it's happening again. We got a school shooting just right on the brink of the beginning of the school year in Georgia. And I don't know much about This, I do know that this was at Appalachia High School.
Mm-hmm.
Appalachia High School in Georgia. The shooter was a 14-year-old boy named Colt Gray. 4 people were killed and 9 people were injured. The students were Matthew Schimmerhorn and Christian Angulo. Both were 14 years old. Then the math teacher, Richard Aspinwall, and Christina Ermey were also killed, officials say. Usually school shooters, what do? Suicide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Murder spree and then suicide. Well, he surrendered when the school officer engaged with them. So he's now arrested and he is in custody. I have not seen what the motive has been thus far. I have seen that he was investigated about a year ago, and I have seen that he falls into the profile of a school shooter. A loner, doesn't have many friends, stays to himself, probably plays freaking video games all day long, probably has a trench coat, and just a loner.
And the security guard officer, the police officer, resource whatever, they had received a call early in that morning or the day before saying that it was the kid saying he was going to shoot up the school.
Oh, he warned them?
Yes. So now they're investigating the officer. They're like, why did you not do anything? He didn't do anything.
He thought it was opposite day?
I've just heard that was the latest blurbs. And something about the shooter's family is coming out, defending him on Facebook, on all the places, and just talking about how, he is
a great kid.
A great kid.
They all are.
Yeah.
I always like to know the background. Were they terrorized? Were they just hateful person? Or were they abused at home? Nothing excuses it, but it just kind of, I guess, makes me feel a little bit better to know, in their mind, what their motive was, even though it will never make sense.
Well, that's what they write their manifestos.
Yeah. Does he have a manifesto?
I don't know.
There is a bunch of text messages going out there, kids were scared to death. Texting their parents. Can you imagine being the kid in the classroom and hearing 10 to 15 rounds of guns? I don't even know the type of gun. Was it a shotgun?
I have not heard.
I thought they said a shotgun.
It's really sad that whenever
rounds?
a school is trending on Twitter because we're okay, it's a school shooting and
it's another one.
It's just kind of becoming that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that we're the only country that constantly has it over and over and over. It's not common anywhere else.
I don't know why they don't have. Did they not have access to guns anywhere else?
Yeah, but is it guns or is it mental health?
I think it's obviously the person who's pulling the trigger. It's not the gun that's doing it, but do they not have sell guns in other countries?
Yeah, they do.
I thought some countries didn't have. I don't know. They
do. So there's all my news. You got anything to add?
Susan Smith, her stuff she's up for parole in November, but I did read that one of the police officers who she had sex with came forward and was opposing her to be released.
He wants to keep screwing her.
He's no, don't let her go.
I need a warm place to put it when I come to work.
That's my boo.
No, but he lost his, remember we talked about it, he lost his pension, he lost his family. He was basically one of the head guys, and he had lost it all fucking around with her.
Terrible. What a waste.
All right, that's all your news. We'll see you Thursday for a full episode. Caroline, where we be going?
We're going to the UK.
To the UK.
We are.
Okay.
Gonna go visit Carmen and Brad.
Carmen and Brad, who are they?
We'll find out.
Okay. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.